Hey guys, welcome back to another video. And again, I apologize in advance with the rawness of this and the lack of sound quality. We are still traveling, so just doing my best to share some value with you. And if you're watching for the first time, welcome. My name is Preston. I'm a professional recruiter. I run my own agency, been at it for almost a decade, love what I do. And if you're looking to hire your next dream rock star on your team, or you're looking for your next job, please feel free to reach out to me. We'd love to help you out. And if you're excited as I am to get into this video, please consider supporting us. Give us a like, subscribe, click that bell, would really mean a lot. And even also check out some recruiter swag that can help your career and your desk move forward. Do that heavy lifting for you instead of having to pay all that stuff for marketing. With that said, let's talk about 4 main mistakes and just a casual raw video that I see a lot of recruiters do in this year. So number 1, most importantly, it's just getting too emotional with the ups and downs. Whether you're on my team or in the community, I know people who are like, you know what, I'm experienced, right? And I'm a manager, I'm a senior manager or director before I became a recruiter. And just because I have all these credentials makes me think that I will be an amazing recruiter. But here's the thing, if you are recruiting what I do in terms of staffing external, whether you're freelancing, you run your own small business or team, it is as entrepreneurial as you can get. And no matter what accolades you have in your previous job, that is not an indication or correlation on you finding success in an entrepreneur setting or running a business or working for yourself. And so the first thing that I see constantly are people just getting too excited, right? Like you get so hyped up when things are going well, and when things are not going well, you get really depressed and cynical and you burn out. It's really, really important, especially when you work for yourself, to be even keel, to be stable as much as possible, and understand that if you continue to show up, be consistent, work fast, provide valuable results, that inevitably is going to end in result. It's not when and if, it's going to happen if you keep at it. But if you crash, or your client doesn't stop working with you, or your candidate ended up ghosting and you end up being really hurt or down by that, and you just have to kind of lick your wounds and spend a lot of time feeling sorry for yourself, well, guess what? There are a lot of recruiters out there that are going to continue just to be really stable in terms of the emotions. Understand that it's part of the game. Not just recruiting. Again, this happens in any freelance or any business environment. You cannot guarantee success. You cannot control success. And whatever happens, you just have to make the best of it, or you simply have to adapt. And so my biggest recommendation is, whether you've been doing this for a year or 5 or 10 years, I think those that find an element of success are ones that understand what comes with that territory. And no matter how good things are, no matter how bad things are, it's really important just to be stable and stoic and put your head down and do the work. And as much as I love to celebrate, and as much as I love to really feel it, I think it's still important to feel it and learn what you could do better, especially if things are not going as well as you could. Don't go much more beyond that to the polar extremes where you go high and then low and high and low. That would just drive you insane, let alone increase your chance of burning out very, very quickly. So that's the first tip and advice, is just don't be emotional, get a handle of it, focus on results, focus on putting in the reps every single day. And if you can do that, I promise you, your business and your desk will take care of you.
Did you just start your own recruitment agency and are struggling getting your own clients? Are you thinking about starting your own agency but afraid to make the jump? Do you have your own clients but you're struggling to find the perfect candidates fast? Do you have a full-time job and wanted to do recruitment part-time to make more money on the side and have no idea how to? If you answered yes to any of these questions, please consider joining our private community. It is a trust-based community where recruiters around the world can support, collaborate, and work together on placements all around the year consistently. In this community, you will directly have access to the real open jobs of my team and of our members, and you will also have the chance to access trainings, events, giveaways, and much, much more. If you are part of this community, I communicate and work with you as if you were on my own team, and I'll do whatever I can to do a placement together with your client or candidate. So if you're struggling to get your own clients or candidates and you want a way you can make sure you can be busy all year round by having access to many more open roles, then this is something you need to look into. This is open to people around the world and is open for recruiters in every industry and experience levels, as we will always have a good number of variety of open jobs across sectors, markets, and industries. I'm really happy to say that within the first 30 days, we have already have a new member with minimal recruiting experience do his first placement that had a total fee of almost $30,000 US, and we are working hard to do many, many more this year. If you are interested and excited, there are only a limited number of spots open, so make sure you sign up quick at patreon.com/recruiterpreston. If you have any questions, please reach out to me on LinkedIn, Instagram, or Discord. We can set up a time to chat. See you on the other side.
The second thing is people just using way too many tools. So whether you've had a recruiter job before, you're starting out, you took courses, you took programs. It's so easy in recruiting and staffing to use like 20 million tools. It's, in my opinion, not so much about the tool, it's so much more about the number and quality of your outreach and targeting with the candidates. You can use 20, 30 tools out there, but if your targeting, your outreach, your personalization is not on point, it doesn't matter how amazing tool you use, you will not get a response from clients, you will not get a response from candidates. It really comes down to consistency, volume, speed, personalization of output, and trying to focus on where out of those things that you're really weak in. Right? If you are really good at speed, but then your personalization is not good because you're just using a blanket template for everybody, perhaps you should look into that further. If your personalization is really, really good, but you're not really happy with the amount of responses coming in, perhaps you need to focus more on output and quantity and consistency. It's really those levers. And I think, honestly, when it comes to like my network or my market or others' market, you just need a handful of tools, whether it's LinkedIn or Career Builder or Indeed, a combination, and maybe a handful of plugins that can help you find people's contact info as a start. That is good enough. If you're spending so much on automation, all these plugins, all this tool, that platform, honestly, I would just stick with the OGs, get to know them really well, and then focus more on your effort, your work effort, your deep work that you're doing, rather than be like, oh, I'm not seeing the results that I'm seeing, it must be the tool. I can go on Hire Easy, I can go on all these tools, and if I put the same amount of work ethic, the speed and quantity, I can get the same amount of responses generated as if I was working on Indeed or Monster or LinkedIn, right? Use and focus on your tools. Don't need billions of tools to be successful running an agency, running a successful full desk. Focus on just a handful of tools, and then most importantly, focus on the output, personalization, and consistency and speed. If you can do all that together, I hope you will certainly see a lot more upticks in terms of responses and just engagement in your outreach. Number 3, another problem that I'm saying when it comes to just recruiting is that people are just banking on 1 or 2 clients. I get it. Maybe perhaps you have like a massive client that's established, right? That's large, and they've been your cash cow client for years. But what happens when in 2024 they stop hiring, or what happens if they slow down, or the manager that you've always been working with got fired or leaves town? Everything changes, right? And if you don't make the effort, the extra effort to cultivate new relationships via BD, and all of your time and your whole livelihood is on this one client, things can get really, really difficult and flip very quickly. You can go from like an awesome, amazing lifestyle where you're doing a lot of placements with your client to then not doing any, and then you have to support your life, your family, your lifestyle, and you're not doing any placements. Things can get dark and stressful very quickly. It's very, very important that regardless of how well your agency or team is running, you want to make sure that you have access to a lot of different clients at the same time, just to be a simple hedge to diversify, so that if something goes down, you will always be able to be busy and you will always be able to work on roles to push you and your team ahead. The biggest advice here is to make sure you don't just always bank on 1 or 2 clients. You don't just always bank on 1 or 2 candidates. Diversify, spread it out a little bit more, so that when something happens, it doesn't affect you like crazy. It would still maybe disappoint you, get you feel a little bit down, but if that was your only client, you would just really feel depressed. And you do not want, again, to go through those ups and downs that I just talked about, and be smart, knowing that, hey, even if things are good now, it's not going to last forever. So always think in the back of your mind, what can I do right now to stabilize my business? What can I do right now to make sure that worst case Armageddon scenario, I'm still okay and I can still move forward? The last step that I want to share, and this is something that's very poignant and fitting right now in 2024, is just sticking with your market to a point where you're being stubborn, right? I totally get it. And if you've been watching for a long time, my niche is in tech. But right now, filming this in 2024, tech is very, very difficult. What do I mean by that? It's more difficult than ever to convert new clients, right? Companies don't want to spend, and if they want to spend, they'll do whatever they can to go through their own referrals or affiliates or their own network. On top of that, we have recession, interest rates, we have tons of layoffs. There's so much good talent on the market. Companies, like, all I have to do is just push a button, put a job board out, and I get a flood of really great talent. So because of that, I don't need to work with the Prestons or external staffing agencies of the world. While that sounds good, what if your market is tough right now? Okay, there are 2 camps. There are people who are like, you know what, I'm actually focused in tech, and all I want to do is tech, and I don't really care about other markets. I'm just going to sit tight and go at it. You can do it, and I really hope that you're able to convert clients. But what if you're not able to do that? Are you willing just to be stubborn in your market to a fault and then not do placements? Again, everyone has different situations. If you have a lot of cash in the bank, you can wait a quarter or 2, 6, 7, 8 months while tech stabilizes. That's great. But if you're like a lot of us, you're like, you know what, what, I focus in tech, but at the end of the day, I still need to make money. Money's my number one priority. I need to eat, support my lifestyle. I need to adapt. Then that's what you got to do as well. The way I see it is I'm a tech recruiter. Also, I'm a business owner, right? Whatever is happening outside of the market is my job to my community. It's my job to my team to make the best decisions so that we can still capitalize and produce in whatever market conditions that are happening right now. If that means we'll have to maybe dip our toes a little bit outside of tech, so be it, we'll do that. And again, I know that there's a whole pool of recruiters, but you know what? I will never do that. It makes no sense. That's totally cool. There's no right or wrong. At the end of the day, it's pretty simple to me. It's like, do you want to make money or do you need to make money? Or can you wait for things to just blow over? Right? And only you know exactly where you stand. For me, as a business owner, I see the landscape. We want to continue to watch on tech or other opportunities, but if they're not converting as well as they should, we will simply focus and do our best to adapt in other markets while waiting our time for tech or the market or the economy to stabilize. I know people who are like, you know what? I am hurting right now. I am stubborn. I got employees, but I'm not willing to do positions outside of my market. So I'm like, okay, that's fine, but how are you going to pay yourself? How are you going to pay your employees? How is your business going to make any money? And how long are you willing to wait and hold on to this pain? I mean, if they have sitting on a war chest of funds, like that's great. I'm jealous and I wish them the luck. But if they don't have that, it's probably smart as a business owner to kind of shift and adapt whenever you can so that you can still do placements, still make that income, still be able to feed you and your team and watch at the same time while everything hopefully stabilizes. So again, it's very, very important to have a market and niche down so that you can really create that reputation. It's also business. Things change constantly. You have to adapt. It's ultimately your choice on how you want to navigate that. I see for some people, it makes sense for them to wait. For others, in my opinion, without understanding additional context, I sometimes think to myself, like, why are they choosing to wait further when they can simply just convert and still stay busy? Right? So with me, we're doing whatever we can to be active in our primary market, but at the same time, if we see other opportunities where we can convert, still work with amazing talent and clients, we will of course do that as well. So I hope this video helps you. We're shooting this in February. The first quarter is well underway, and so far it's been a phenomenal year so far with the team, with the community, feeling great, traveling a lot, but can't wait to be back in the trenches where we can actually do some great work. So hope this helps you. Please let me know which one of these actually help you the most. Like, subscribe, click that bell. Honestly, it means a lot. Doing the best that we can to make these videos to educate and provide value to you all. We'll see you on next one.